So before I say anything, before I even begin this video, I just want to establish the time that I'm starting this at, because it's truly tragic, if I'm being honest. It is 1:53 in the morning, almost 2 a.m. And you may be wondering, Amanda, why the fuck are you filming this video at 2 in the morning? Why can't you just wait until tomorrow? Why couldn't you have just filmed it earlier today? Those are all very valid questions, but here's what happened. I had a fiasco with one of these packages. The package from Book Outlet, actually. I expected this package to come on Saturday. I'm filming this on, well, technically I'm filming this on Tuesday, October 27th, but because I haven't fallen asleep yet, in my mind it's still Monday, October 26th. Even though physically it is the 27th, in my mind it's the 26th. I was expecting this Book Outlet package on Saturday. Have I even said this is a book haul video? This is a book haul video. So I was expecting this Book Outlet package on Saturday, and then tragedy struck. It had arrived the previous day at the distribution center in Wisconsin. I live in Wisconsin. And it was there. It was sitting at the distribution center on Friday. And then I wake up on Saturday to find out that my package has been shipped to Detroit. And I'm like,
what the fuck?
And I quickly realized that somebody in the Wisconsin distribution center fucked up my package and sent it to Detroit. So I had to wait 3 more days until today, Monday the 26th. Or if you want to get technical about it, it's the 27th on Tuesday, but whatever. And I didn't get it until today. And then I was hoping that it would come when the mail usually gets delivered to my house, which is about 2 p.m. But it came at 5 p.m., which I was like, well, fuck. I need to do schoolwork. I can't choose to film a YouTube video over doing my schoolwork. So the entire night I've been working on my schoolwork, and I just got finished with it at 1:30. And I knew I wanted this video up today or tomorrow. Again, the date is subjective in this case. I want to get it up on Tuesday. So if this video has been posted after Tuesday, October 27th, it means I have failed. But if it is posted on October 27th, Tuesday, it means I've succeeded somehow in getting this video up within 24 hours of filming it, which is honestly impressive. Anyway, that was a long tangent to say this is a book haul. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, I apologize if I'm dressed up as like a English schoolgirl. I went to vote today, which, by the way, if early voting is open in your state, you should go vote. Or if not, go vote on election day if you're American. Obviously, if you're from another country, this doesn't apply to you. But if you're American, go vote. Unless you're voting for Trump, do not fucking vote for Trump. Anyway, my outfit. I live in a town that is full of Trump supporters. Literally, when you drive down the street, you will see dozens and dozens of Trump signs, but you will not see one Biden sign. Like, that's how intense it is. I wanted to dress up to go to the polls today to make it obvious that I know what fashion is, and therefore, because I know what fashion is, I am a Biden supporter. I also painted my nails AOC red. Obviously, AOC is known for her red lipstick, but because of, you know, the pandemic, wearing red lipstick would kind of defeat the whole purpose because no one would see it. So I painted my nails AOC red. I'm getting so distracted. Anyway, so I think I have about 10 books in this haul, most of which are from Book Outlet, but I have a couple that are from Books A Million. I'm gonna start out with the Book Outlet ones first, just because it's the box with the most books. I think I got 8 books. I don't know how to do book hauls. Am I supposed to talk about the books? Yeah, that's the whole fucking point. Okay, I think first of all, because some of these books that I got from Book Outlet I have already read, but I just didn't have physical copies of them, so I bought physical copies. So I think I'll just start out with Obsidio because it's the first one I have in my hand. This is the 3rd book in the Illuminae files. I am so obsessed with this series. I read it a couple years ago, I think. It was so good. I feel like I don't even have to talk about how good the Illuminae files is because everybody already knows. I have the 1st book in the Illuminae files, but I don't have Gemina. I don't know how to pronounce Gemina, but this is definitely pronounced Obsidio. I am glad that Book Outlet was able to provide me with third book in the Illuminate files, because now I have 2/3 of the series instead of only having 1/3 of the series. That is what we like to call progress. This next book I have also read before. It is the 6th book in the Fallen Kingdoms series called Immortal Reign. I absolutely love this series as well. I think it's obviously not the best in like a literary sense. It is pretty much the classic YA fantasy trope, but that said, I really love it. I think there are so many books that try to pull off an enemies to lovers romance and just fail miserably, but this series is one of the few series that I've read that actually pulls off that enemies to lovers romance and does a really good job with it. If you're looking for an easy fantasy series to read that's really digestible and that you can get through really quick, pick up The Fallen Kingdoms, because as you can probably see, this is the last book in the series and it's pretty short. It's only 391 pages, which is shorter than what is normal for like a conclusion to a fantasy series, especially one that is 6 books long. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. Besides, if you're interested in fantasy and you like enemies to lovers and you want an easy read that you can just bust out 6 books in a week, this is what you should choose. This is the last book that I got that I have already read, and this is Legendary, which I believe is the 2nd book in the I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this right. Caraval? Can someone please like clarify how to pronounce this, because I just don't know. Caraval? Caraval sounds like the way an American would say it, but Caraval is the way an English person would say it. Is this pronounced Caraval or Caraval or Caraval? I don't know. This is the 2nd book in the Caraval, whatever trilogy. How do I feel about this trilogy? I definitely liked it. I mean, I did read the whole thing. I am one who, if I don't like the first book, and if I know there's no promise for the rest of the series, I will just not read the rest of the series. But this series, I read the whole thing, and I remember enjoying it. I know it's a really unique premise that I have not seen done in a lot of other fantasy books. This series is definitely a refreshing read, and if you're bored with like the classic fantasy tropes, I think there was a love triangle. I don't really remember a lot from this book series, but I think it revolves around like, it's sort of like a carnival theme, but it's also not a carnival theme. More so it's just like a carnival aesthetic mixed with like The Good Place where everyone is in on the joke. Am I like making this up in my head? Am I misremembering this series? I don't fucking know. Don't listen to me. But if you want to read it, you should read it. But don't listen to anything I have to say because I'll probably say something wrong. Live, laugh, laugh. And then I have 5 more books from Book Outlet, and all of these I have not read before. 3 of them are contemporary and 2 of them are fantasy. So I guess I'll just keep going with fantasy and then get into the what? As I was saying, I will get into the fantasy first and then go into the contemporary books that I picked up. So this book is one that I actually talked about in my last video, my 2020 TBR video. This is The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. As I said in my last video, I do not know a whole lot about this book. It's obviously a fantasy. I'm pretty sure it's an adult fantasy. If it's not an adult fantasy, I think it's a new adult. Anyway, I've heard good things about The Unspoken Name, so I'm really excited to read it. I have no idea what to expect, but yeah. And then the last fantasy book that I got from Book Outlet was Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan. I've heard so many good things about this series. People really seem to love it. Obviously from the cover, you can tell that it's a fantasy novel. Let's see what the back says. Seductively dark and enchanting. I love that. Dark, bloody, and monstrously romantic. Gothic jewel of a story. A snow-frosted, blood-drenched fairy tale. There seems to be a lot of blood in this book. Regardless, I'm excited to read it. I'm hoping to read this by the end of the year, and if I don't get to it by the end of the year, I'm definitely gonna read it in early 2021. I'm gonna put this series on like the top of my priority list because I really want to read it. And then the last 3 books that I got from Book Outlet are all contemporary books. First of all, I got Daisy Jones and the Six, which I'm sure everybody watching this has read this before because it was really popular a year or 2 ago, and I just never like got on the bandwagon. And when I saw that they had this on Book Outlet, I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Not get it? So I got it. I do not know a lot about what this book is about. I think it's kind of based or kind of the same vibes as like Fleetwood Mac. It's about a 1970s band, which is basically like Fleetwood Mac. So I am going into this story picturing Fleetwood Mac. I could be totally wrong and this could be like nothing relating to that, but Reese Witherspoon recommended it, so it has to be good. I trust Reese. Okay, and then the next one I got was Sawkill Girls. I have no idea what this is about. I honestly just got it because the cover looked cool. It looks like a dark academia book, which I'm always for dark academia books because I don't think that there's a lot in the market. So, a lot that are good, at least. I could be totally wrong in saying this is a dark academia, but I am getting those kind of vibes from the cover. I really know nothing about it. I think there's a murder because it says kill on the cover, so I assume that means someone is gonna die. And then the last book that I got in my Book Outlet order is Genuine Fraud by E. Lockhart. This had very mixed reviews on Goodreads, but I got it anyway, because it looked like it'd be similar to Girls on Fire, and that book also got really mixed reviews on Goodreads, but I ended up really liking it. And I obviously love We Were Liars, but I've heard a lot of people say that Genuine Fraud is worlds different from what We Were Liars was. But I enjoyed We Were Liars. I enjoyed the like style of prose, so I'm hoping that I'll still like this, and if not, well, that would suck, but at least the cover is pretty. This is why I'm bad at spending money, because I buy books based on what the covers look like. I literally bought this based on the cover, and I bought this. I actually have more reasons to buy this, but those were all the books that I got from Book Outlet, and I also have a couple books from Books A Million that I got in store. The first one being The Wicked Deep, which I also showed this in my TBR video that I just posted last week. This book, I kind of get the impression that it's a paranormal book. There's witches. I know that because it says witchery on the back. So based on the context clues, I'm guessing this is about witches. The Wicked Deep, I don't know anything about it besides witchery because it's on the back of the book. Sorry if I don't have anything more insightful to say about this. I had empty no thoughts. And then lastly, the second book I got at Books A Million is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. This is a fantasy. Obviously, look at the cover. It is a West African inspired fantasy, and that is really the extent that I know about this book. I think there's like an assassin who's trying to kill a princess, which like, who doesn't love that? I mean, it's definitely an overdone trope, but we'll see how this author writes it. I don't mind reading overdone tropes as long as the author is able to pull it off. I think that's the most important part. Is like, I'll read a love triangle if an author can pull it off really well. I remember when I went to a Cassandra Clare signing a couple years ago, she said, when people go up to her and say,
"Oh my god, Cassandra Clare, I hate love triangles,"
and she said, "No, you don't. You just haven't read a good love triangle." And that has always stuck with me. So if any of you say you don't like this and that trope, you probably just haven't read that trope pulled off and written well. This was a really long tangent, but yeah. I'm probably not gonna buy any physical books for a really long time because I have so much that I need to read first before I buy anything else. I think most of these are going to end up being 2021 reads, but some of them are going to be 2020 reads. And then that's the video. That is all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna show you the time that I finished this at so you can empathize with me. 2:18 in the morning. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment if you have read any of these books. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on them, whether they are positive or negative. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Hopefully, maybe, probably. I don't know. Okay, bye.